What is up? Welcome to the Vegan Podcast, my friends. We have yet another fellow vegan YouTuber. There is over 800 vegan YouTubers out there. I've subscribed to over 800. I'm finding more all the time, Braz. So basically, we have a fellow vegan YouTuber. Kiwibanana is on with us. Now, how many subscribers are you on right now, Kiwibanana?
About 630.
Right, 630. So obviously, if you had more subscribers, you would be doing a lot more for the vegan movement. Because one thing I'm going to say is this, before I ask this question, like I say, when vegan YouTubers come on the vegan podcast for the first time, we normally ask, how they went vegan, how they're doing as a vegan YouTuber, those simple questions. And then the main part that every vegan YouTuber will go through when we come on the first time is how the world goes vegan knowledge, so that we can really develop that, so we actually know how it can happen, so we know the direction. But I'm going to throw this right at you at the beginning, right? Right now, obviously you're vegan. You want the world to go vegan.
Yes.
Right. You obviously want the world to go vegan. Right now, do you generally want to do more for being vegan, brah?
Yes.
Now, obviously, we've kind of discussed this off of a public level, but the most effective thing you can do for the vegan movement is rise as a big, massive vegan public figure. Now, obviously, I feel that we built a good connection enough for me to be open about this question that I'm about to ask. Because you have such low subscribers, how does it kind of feel? Because remember, I'm in the same situation here. I'm in the same boat as you, brah. How does it feel that you're really currently technically not doing a lot for being vegan when you kind of compare to a lot of big vegan YouTubers, brah?
I guess I can just use it as a motivation to, it's something to strive for. It's another goal to attain.
Yeah. Obviously, like I say, sometimes I just kind of like to ask that, because I really feel for vegans that want to do more and, they're not growing on YouTube and things like that, and I'm helping to sort this out, basically. One thing I want to say to you is you have become a vegan YouTuber. I've been watching your content. I watched one of your videos about how your life, you got a lot of things in your plate and things like that. And basically, I want to say this. Obviously, you becoming a vegan YouTuber, you really have now stepped into that direction for, in the long run, if you go about this in the right way, in the long run, will be doing the best you can do, the best thing you can do for being vegan. So why did you become a vegan YouTuber, my friend?
I've seen other people doing it, and I thought it would be a great idea to obviously participate in the vegan YouTube community and just hopefully reach more vegans and non-vegans, of course.
Yes.
And I'd say that would be that's the crux of it.
Yes, because obviously, the more vegan YouTubers we've got, subconsciously, this is going to motivate more vegans and make a lot of vegans think, go through what I kind of went through. When I used to watch vegan YouTubers, I used to think, if I do not become a vegan YouTuber, I will not be doing as much as I could before being vegan. When I looked at the infinite possibility on YouTube, I truly did get into a position where if I didn't become a vegan YouTuber, I truly couldn't say I cared that much about wanting the world to go vegan, wanting to spread being vegan across the planet. So the more vegan YouTubers we've got, the bigger we become. Subconsciously, this is going to attract more vegans to join us, and the core source in my perspective for the vegan movement, which is vegan YouTubing for many reasons, and we might get into a bit of detail about that in this podcast. One thing I want to ask you is for me going vegan, for me learning about being vegan, is definitely being vegan YouTubing, right? Vegan YouTubing is what got me interested in being vegan. It's what they make being vegan look good. But for you, what was it for you that really kind of triggered you to actually make that change to being vegan? What was it, brah?
Well, I have a friend who was blogging, just sort of like on Facebook, and she has some issues with food and her relationship with food and disordered eating and things. I don't have those sort of problems, but she's a friend of mine, and she started talking about how she was eating this vegan diet, and she was going vegan, and I don't even know if I'd ever met a vegetarian in my life, but when I was looking at her food, she's making these amazing raw cheesecakes, vegan cheesecakes and all this sort of stuff, and then I was like, well, what is vegan? I don't know what veganism is. And then when I looked at it online and started finding out videos and stuff, I was kind of like, well, it sounds like the logical and the right thing to do, like for animals, for environment, and for health. And I was like, well, it seems silly if I don't try and do this and, start living what I, really believe. You say you're environmentalist, but are you really environmentalist if you eat meat? Things like that.
Yeah,
That's really where it went.
yes. Like, do you feel that vegan YouTubers have really helped you to kind of subconsciously learn and be aware of new vegan knowledge all the time?
Yes, for sure. And not just about like how to eat, but also philosophy around it and science, and like that sort of stuff really interests me as well.
Yeah, like we've got being vegan goes beyond the nutrition. I truly believe being vegan eventually leads to the chakra and the third eye crystals and all that. But we've got the environment, we've got the nutrition, we've got like sofas. If sofas are vegan and things like that, it goes way beyond the nutrition. One thing I want to ask you before we get into the big main thing that I go through with every vegan YouTuber is this. How are you doing right now as a vegan YouTuber when it comes to growing as a vegan YouTuber?
It kind of goes up a subscriber, down a subscriber, up 2 subscribers, down 1 subscriber. So it jumps around a lot. I'm not sure whether that's got a little bit to do with what's going on with YouTube at the moment, but I'm still going to be in it. I'm not planning to remove myself or quit or anything like that.
Well, at the end of the day, please don't quit, because obviously you're at a dangerous point right now. And, a lot of vegan YouTubers, when they're at this stage where it's hard to grow and things, they do feel like quitting. Now, some vegan YouTubers have even talked in the past about how, it's so hard to grow on YouTube because of the algorithm system and things like that. Well, I think that's totally nonsense, because let's speak reality, my friend. If you had 20 vegan YouTubers, some might be at 1 million subscribers, some might be at 100, but if you could collaborate a lot more than you are now, think of how much faster you're going to grow, my friend.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so when it comes to all this, the algorithm and things, I'm a gamer, I've been watching YouTube all my life, it's my mainstream. Anyone that even just watches YouTube will know the miracles that have happened through collaboration. This is why I say collaboration needs to happen a lot more within the vegan movement, because I've subscribed to well over 800 vegan YouTubers, and the majority of them are still under 100k. We're still just verging to some vegan YouTubers that are going to get 1 million subscribers. I know Fun for Louis, he's got 1 million subscribers, but in my perspective, Fun for Louis doesn't talk about being vegan enough to declare himself as a vegan YouTuber. But I think Freely and Vegan Gains, Happy Health Vegan, they'll be the kind of first kind of vegan YouTubers to get to 1 million subscribers. Well, one thing I'm going to say is this. At the end of this vegan podcast, as long as you resonate with me and we keep on developing our connection, I will consistently give you vegan YouTuber contacts that will collaborate with you for many reasons, because every contact of mine has been through what you're literally about to go through, and you're going to understand what I've said a lot better by the end of this. So let's get right into this, my friends. So what we want to do right now, this is the thing that I want to discuss with every vegan YouTuber when they come on the vegan podcast for the first time. How the world can actually go vegan. Because, if we don't know exactly how it can happen, even though being vegan is on the rise, it's almost like every year we're becoming more aware how being vegan is on the rise, but still, if we don't exactly know how we can actually convince the world to go vegan, of course, we're going to feel like we're on this kind of forever growing path, like it's going to take hundreds and hundreds of years. One thing I want to say to you, literally before we get into this, do you think that the vegan movement will naturally convince the world to go vegan one day?
How do you mean by naturally?
Well, I'm kind of talking about sometimes when I ask vegan YouTubers, how can the world go vegan? Some vegan YouTubers kind of turn around to me and say, well, I'm sure, after a good number of years, everyone will just kind of follow being vegan and understand what it's about, and will just naturally go vegan. Do you kind of feel that way, or do you feel that we really need to learn what we need to change, or, we really need to learn what we need to change, if you know what I mean? Or do you think it's just naturally going to happen? We're just naturally going to convince the world to go vegan? Well, my point is this, right? You kind of think about this. If we have all these vegans not becoming vegan YouTubers, do you think we're going to naturally convince the world to go vegan?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be a lot more happening. It needs to be a lot more organised. And obviously there needs to be a lot of influence on different industries and different ways that our society works.
Yep.
For that to happen, it's not going to just naturally happen, and that's why we talk about veganism with other people in the first place. Whether that be online or offline, it's
Yes.
to get them to think about what it is that they're doing every day, and hopefully that they will make more changes and go vegan themselves.
Well, the most effective thing for me, whenever I'm trying to convince someone to go vegan, the ones that listen to me and go watch vegan YouTubers are normally convinced or, gain an interest for being vegan. But any non-vegan that I talk to that does not want to, listen to me, that does not want to go watch vegan YouTubers, they're all the same. Just it's non-effective. That's just kind of my experience. What's your experience on being like with that? Have you ever like kind of said to someone, look, go watch some vegan YouTubers and you'll know what I'm on about type thing, bruh?
Sometimes I don't always tell them you should watch this or you should watch that unless they ask sort of questions about veganism themselves, because otherwise I can, when you first go vegan, I feel like there's kind of like a stages that you go through, and you can kind of get quite aggressive and almost really pushy with people. It can ruin a lot of relationships that you have with people. So I tend to mostly just target those that have asked me questions, or I know that are into environment, or I know that care about the animals, or I know that care about health, because I wouldn't want to waste my time on speaking to people that are just absolutely not open to any of it whatsoever, because it's just a waste of my time.
Yeah, well, the ones that, do want to learn about being vegan, I feel the most effective thing to really get them on that journey is to just introduce them to some vegan YouTubers, in my perspective. Yeah. Well, basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk about my 3-goal structure on how the world can go vegan. Now, not a lot of vegan YouTubers right now talk about an actual structure that can convince the world to go vegan. I truly feel that I am still on this kind of alone path within the vegan movement, where I seem to be the only one that really wants to bring this knowledge onto a public level, really wants to think about how it can happen. So I've got a 3-goal structure for how the world goes vegan. And the very first goal is this. The vegan movement as a majority must come to the realisation that we as a vegan movement need to convince all mainstream education systems worldwide for the teachings of nutrition to go vegan. If this does not happen, we are still going to continuously be suppressed on a super ultra mass scale. Anyone that thinks we can convince this world to go vegan without having to go down the line of convincing the education system for the teachings of nutrition to change to being vegan, if you think this doesn't need to happen to bring in a vegan world, then you are highly underestimating the impact and the power of the current mainstream education system. This is the reason for why, worldwide trends have been allowed to start up. This is the reason for why people even think eating animals is acceptable. So let's ask you, Kiwibanana, the very first goal is this. Do you think that to actually convince the world to go vegan in the long run, we need to go through that line of convincing all education systems for the teachings of nutrition all around the world to basically go vegan?
Yes, for sure. There's no doubt about that whatsoever.
Yeah, like I say, when some vegan YouTubers learn this knowledge, some find it hard to come to the reality of this, and they're a bit slow, and sometimes you need to go into quite a lot of detail about if this doesn't happen and all that. Some vegan YouTubers, like Kiwibanana, is, she kind of thinks, well, I suppose if we're thinking about convincing the planet to go vegan, this is something that needs to happen. Just before we move on to the next goal, the second goal, I want to say this, I want to refer back to something. If we cannot convince these education systems to change to being vegan, then we're never going to truly bring upon a vegan world. We're going to continuously be suppressed on a supermass scale. Like I say, if tomorrow these world education systems for the teachings of nutrition actually did go vegan worldwide, fair enough. The first 10, 20 years, we used to have non-vegans, but think about the long run. Think about 1,000 years of conditioning people to be vegan through the education system. Any enlightened vegan YouTuber would come to the conclusion that that would definitely bring upon a vegan planet, a vegan social norm one day. Basically, okay, so that is the first goal, the realisation of that. That needs to happen to convince the world to go vegan. So let's talk about the second goal, because we know what to change now, right? The second goal is this. What is the only way to actually convince the education system to actually change and be convinced to go vegan? Because it does sound like an impossible task. Would you agree right now, Kiwibanana, Girl, Kiwibanana, that it does, when you think about convincing these education systems to go vegan, currently, right now, it does sound like this impossible task, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is a way. There is a way. And that's why I came up with the second goal knowledge. There is 100% way that would work. And some vegan YouTubers, when we go through the second goal, really need to come to the reality of this. There is a way that would work if this actually happened. Right? At the end of the day, it's all about worldwide mass contradiction. You obviously understand that if you go vegan as a lifestyle, it totally contradicts what the current education system are teaching, my friend.
Yeah.
So basically, when you become a vegan, you totally contradict what the education system are saying. But as soon as you come onto a public level, as soon as you show people around the world that you are vegan as a lifestyle, this is when you start to make a bigger impact. This is when you start to make that contradiction more powerful. Because there are some non-vegans out there, there's a lot of them actually, that don't even know that you can be vegan as a lifestyle. They might accept it for a diet, but they don't actually know you can be vegan as a lifestyle. So basically, it's all about making this contradiction more powerful. A vegan YouTuber that's got 100 subscribers, that's a level contradiction. The more people you show it, the more you're proving to more people that you can be vegan as a lifestyle, the more powerful the contradiction becomes. But say we had a vegan YouTuber that has 1 million subscribers. Now, Kiwibanana, what vegan YouTuber, the one that's got 1 million subscribers or the one that's got 100 subscribers, what one is making that contradiction more powerful?
The one that's got the million subscribers.
Yeah. So let's think about this as a majority. If we have, and we're just taking the aspect of vegan YouTubing, but there's many reasons for why I put vegan YouTubing as a core source, right? There's many reasons, and we'll get into a bit of detail about that before we move on to the third goal. But if we have 10,000 vegan YouTubers, all over 1 million subscribers, that's a level of worldwide mass contradiction against what the current mainstream world education system are teaching for nutrition. 10,000 vegan YouTubers, all over 1 million subscribers, that's a lot of worldwide mass contradiction. But let's say we had 100,000 vegan YouTubers, all over 1 million subscribers. It's quite obvious the contradiction is even more powerful, it's even more undeniable, and it becomes even more for these education systems to basically ignore us and try and pretend that we're wrong. So 100,000 vegan YouTubers, all at 1 million subscribers, that's even more worldwide mass contradiction than when we only had 10,000 vegan YouTubers, all over 1 million subscribers. If we have 1 million vegan YouTubers, all over 1 million subscribers, now the power of that contradiction is even more worldwide. It's even more powerful than when we only had 100,000 vegan YouTubers, all over 1 million subscribers. So you understand what's going on here. The more vegans we've got that are vegan YouTubers, the bigger we all become, the more powerful this contradiction becomes. The more pressure there is for these education systems to make that change. Because remember, the contradiction is in our favour. We are right. We are right. This is why the contradiction is in our favour. Kiwibanana, wouldn't you kind of say that this is the direction to convincing these education systems to change, my friend?
Yes.
Yeah. At the end of the day, some vegan YouTubers, when they listen to my knowledge on how the world goes vegan, they really do start learning how it can be achieved. But some vegan YouTubers need to come to the reality of this. Some vegan YouTubers will be like, oh, but we're never going to get 1 million vegan YouTubers, all over 1 million subscribers. Well, if you're going to think like that, then you may as well forget about the world going vegan. Because when you learn my knowledge on how the world goes vegan, the more you learn about it, the more you kind of do start to think, well, I suppose this is the only way. What other way is there to convince these education systems to change? Now, at the end of the day, we've kind of developed the direction, what we actually need to do to convince these education systems to change. Now, vegan YouTubing is the most effective thing to making this contradiction more powerful. But there's other things that are going to help us. There's all the vegan activists that are off of YouTube. There's all the vegans that don't really do anything. There's all these social medias, big Facebook pages, big everything. But at the end of the day, and this is something we were talking about, Kiwibanana, we were talking about this, the fact that there's many reasons for why we want vegan YouTubers to kind of almost be filtered through vegan YouTubing. And one of those many reasons is because not everyone is like Vegan Gains. Would you agree with me on that? Do you kind of know what I'm talking about, brah?
Yes, I understand what you're talking about there, yeah.
Yeah, not everyone is like Vegan Gains. Not every vegan is going to come on YouTube and simply rise. Not every vegan is going to come on Instagram and simply rise. So basically, if you are a vegan and you become a vegan YouTuber, you go about it the right way, you build out your contacts, you start collaborating, you start rising, Think about this. This is what's going to allow you to have all these big, massive social medias. This is what's going to allow you to be able to set up big, massive vegan events. And this is what's going to allow you to basically do more for being vegan in the long run. Because some vegan YouTubers, when I go into a bit of detail about this, some have kind of pointed out, why don't I put, Instagram stars as a core source? Why don't I put, big, massive Twitter vegans as a core source? Well, this is why. Because for the majority of vegans, if they do not become vegan YouTubers, and they do not rise as a vegan YouTuber, they're never going to have these big, massive social media. So one of the many reasons for why I put vegan YouTubing as a core source. Now, Kiwibanana, from what we've talked about so far, with this How the World Goes Vegan knowledge, you know what to change, and you know how we can change that. Would you agree with me, once again, that this second goal really is the only way to actually convince them to change, brah?
Yes.
Yeah, my friend. Like I say, we don't know if we're going to need over 1 million vegan YouTubers all over 1 million subscribers or under 1 million vegan YouTubers all over 1 million subscribers. All we know is there would be a magic number out there. All we know is that this would work if this actually happens, my friend. So let's move on to the third goal. And this is one we actually didn't discuss off of a public level, Kiwibanana girl. But let's go into the third goal. Now, some vegan YouTubers will be thinking, right, fair enough. If we honestly did have 1 million vegan YouTubers all over 1 million subscribers, I'm pretty sure that would work, or I'm pretty sure we would be really close. But how on earth are we supposed to get that? So the third goal goes into detail, well, what is the best way to convince vegans to become vegan YouTubers? Because obviously you understand that vegans becoming vegan YouTubers, when you really do start understanding how the world can go vegan, you really do start understanding the importance. Do you feel that you really, just by talking with me so far, do you feel that you more than ever, you're understanding the importance of vegans becoming vegan YouTubers to actually achieve a vegan world one day?
Yes.
Yes. Normally when vegan YouTubers learn my knowledge on how the world is vegan, they start to understand the importance of vegans becoming vegan YouTubers. So the third goal is, what's the best way to have this worldwide mass vegans becoming vegan YouTubers? And the second aspect within the third goal is, well, how are we supposed to even rise all these vegan YouTubers to their millions of subscribers? Because when you look at the vegan, now this is currently, right, this is the current situation right now. If you look at the majority of vegan YouTubers right now, they are very small. There's only a very small number of vegan YouTubers with over the hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Would you agree, Kiwi the Banana Girl? Sorry, I could.
Yes, I only subscribed to about 400 or something.
Yeah, pardon, my friend?
I said I've only found about 400 or 500 vegan YouTube channels.
Now, how many of them are over even 50k subscribers?
Probably not even 5 or 10%.
Yeah, exactly. This is the biggest problem. When you understand how important this knowledge is, and you really do start to learn the direction for convincing the world to go vegan, you think, oh my goodness, we've got a big problem, right? Right now, I'm finding more vegan YouTubers all the time. Right now I've subscribed to over 800, and barely any of them reach 100k or even 50k subscribers. Now, at the end of the day, basically, at the end of the day, one thing I want to say is this. With vegans becoming vegan YouTubers, this is part of this third goal knowledge. Now, that's something I truly believe, the bigger the vegan movement becomes on YouTube, that is something I truly believe will naturally happen. Would you agree that we are having more vegans becoming vegan YouTubers all the time, subconsciously?
Yes.
Yeah. So for those that are kind of like, oh, we're not going to have 1 million vegans becoming a vegan YouTubers, let alone 100,000. Well, vegans are becoming vegan YouTubers all the time. I am finding new vegan YouTubers all the time. Like I say, the most common thing is, vegans will watch vegan YouTubers. They'll start to realize how much these vegan YouTubers are doing, especially the big ones for being vegan. And it really will start to make you think, if you do not become a vegan YouTuber, you're really not going to do a lot for being vegan in the long run. So we will always have vegans becoming vegan YouTubers. Not only that, but the more vegan YouTubers that come on my vegan podcast that resonate with my knowledge, the more vegan YouTubers that are going to understand the importance of vegans becoming vegan YouTubers. So they might mention it in their videos every so often. They might tell a fellow vegan to become a vegan YouTuber and explain why. Explain that this is the journey, this is the core source, our only chance to bring it upon a vegan world. So when it comes to that piece of knowledge, is pretty much sorted, right? We will always have vegans becoming vegan YouTubers. But the very last thing to think about is one thing I want to ask you, Kiwibanana. If mass collaboration does not enter the vegan movement, do you honestly think we're going to reach that magic number one day, my friend?
No.
Exactly. Now, any enlightened being will obviously understand the more vegan YouTubers you collaborate with, the more it's going to do for your channel, right? But at the end of the day, there's not a lot of collaboration within the vegan movement because, in my perspective, when I say there's not a lot for me is on a mass scale. Because if there was a lot of collaboration within the vegan movement, we would have a lot more bigger vegan YouTubers. Now, at the end of the day, Kiwi the Banana, I'll ask you something. If tomorrow all vegan YouTubers were to collaborate with all other vegan YouTubers many times, some vegan YouTubers you might not like, but you might do a one-off collaboration with. The majority you become a consistent collaboration partner with. Now, if this happened, if this honestly happened, I really want you to think about if someone like me can convince all these vegan YouTubers to collaborate in the mass. If this can happen, do you think we actually have a chance to reach that magic number one day?
Yes.
And when I say magic number, I'm talking about the worldwide mass contradiction that needs to happen to convince these education systems to change. Well, something I've done right. Now, obviously, because you are very enlightened, normally with some vegan YouTubers, I need to go in a bit more detail, but normally there's a good number of vegan YouTubers like yourself where I don't need to go in a lot of detail about this, how the world goes vegan knowledge. You understand. The last vegan YouTuber I had on the vegan podcast, the hellish herbivore, she resonated straight away. She was kind of like you. So basically, at the end of the day, we have, there's so much detail. Anyone that comes on the vegan podcast that disagrees with anything about my how the world goes vegan knowledge, I literally have so much detail to convince any vegan YouTuber, whether it takes fast or slow. At the end of the day, you really have learned how the world goes vegan knowledge. Do you really feel that you now know there's a direction to convincing the world to go vegan, my friend?
Yes.
Do you almost feel a bit more motivated that we actually can achieve a vegan world one day?
Yeah, for sure.
Because there are some vegan YouTubers that I've spoken to that do feel that we're on this forever growing path to convincing the world to go vegan. There are some vegan YouTubers that I've spoken to that generally just don't think it can happen. Like I say, when vegan YouTubers start learning how the world can actually be convinced to go vegan, that is when we can excel with the knowledge. That is when we can truly be on this journey to creating a better planet. For many reasons. So basically, one thing I want to say to you is this. Now you've learned how the world goes vegan. If I were to say to you right now, I want you to literally start collaborating with every vegan YouTuber upon the YouTube platform, do you honestly think you could do that, my friend?
Yes, over time. Maybe like one a week with my current time situation.
Well, at the end of the day, one of the things is, now you're saying yes, you want to do this, you understand that this is important, you understand that you rising as a vegan YouTuber is important, but at the end of the day, even if you want to do that and you can do that, the reality is a bit different. Because if you come off this vegan YouTuber podcast and you were to message every vegan YouTuber there is, for the majority of vegan YouTubers, they're probably not going to get a big response. Now, you never know. You could get a big response. Right? You could get a big response, but for the majority, they're probably not going to get a big response. For instance, if I were to message, Vegan Gains and Happy Healthy Vegan to start collaborating with me, the reality is they're just not going to do it. They're just not going to respond, right? So we've got a bit of a problem. You know what I'm talking about here? We've got a bit of a problem here. The fact is, vegan YouTubers, slowly but surely, the ones that are coming on my vegan YouTuber podcast, are learning how the world goes vegan and learning how to do it, but we can't actually do it because the way the vegan movement is upon YouTube currently right now. Now, one thing, I want to mention two things to you. The more vegan YouTubers that come on my vegan podcast, the easier it's going to be to collaborate with more vegan YouTubers. Because obviously they will learn my knowledge, you'll be able to watch them, listen to them and think, right, they're another vegan YouTuber I can go to help me rise, to help me do more for being vegan. But what I want to do with you, right, is a lot of vegan YouTubers, when they learn my knowledge on how the world goes vegan, it's actually been a very effective way for me to build up vegan YouTuber contacts. Pretty much every single vegan YouTuber that's been on the vegan podcast that's learned my knowledge has come off of the podcast a proper contact of mine. Some are now friends. So what I'm going to do for you is I am going to individually, one at a time, send you, and this is a consistent thing, this is something that will never end, by the way. I will continuously send you vegan YouTuber after vegan YouTuber after vegan YouTuber. What I'll do is I'll send you a vegan YouTuber, you get in contact with them, you establish your contact, whether you, because I know every so often you might just want to just do a one-off collaboration, but hopefully the majority that I send you, you'll become consistent collaboration partners with. Now, at the end of the day, I am going to do this for you, and this is something that I'm doing for every vegan YouTuber that resonates with my knowledge that comes on the vegan podcast. Now, at the end of the day, this is going to help you out, because obviously, like we just kind of mentioned, if you didn't have someone like me that was going to do this for you, the reality of the situation is you couldn't really do the whole mass collaboration thing. Am I right?
Yeah.
So basically, when I send you these vegan YouTuber contacts, they have all been through what you've just been through now. Right, and there's literally, I've lost track. There's over 80 other vegan YouTubers that are coming on the vegan podcast, and any vegan YouTuber that really does want the world to go vegan will resonate with this knowledge and will want to be a part of this whole mass collaboration thing, expanding this knowledge to the vegan movement. So when I send you these contacts individually, will you please definitely kind of take this seriously? Like, actually get in contact with them, actually collaborate with them, and decide one-off collaboration or a consistent collaboration partner. Are you going to take this seriously, bruh, for many reasons? My friend, I think we are losing connection, my friend. 2 seconds, my friend. Are you there, my friend? 2 seconds, bras. Let me pause. Sorry about that, folks. We've got Kiwibanana back, right? Internet went down. Sometimes that happens. So the question I was asking you is this: when I send you these vegan YouTuber contacts, now that you really understand the importance of, being a part of this mass collaboration thing, are you going to take this seriously, bruh? Yes. That is good, because at the end of the day, this is what needs to happen. Now, we've got you on board. So what I do is I add all my contacts to my sub box. Let me just have about 5 more vegan YouTubers on the Vegan YouTuber podcast, and then I'll start giving you the contacts, and start one at a time give you contacts. And like I say, this will never end, because I have so many vegan YouTubers coming on the vegan podcast, and the more numbers of vegan YouTubers that come on the vegan podcast, the easier it will be to then convince other people to come on, even though normally when I message people, they come on anyway. Because obviously, for instance, Vegan Gains, I might need to message him and say, look, this is a list of the amount of vegan YouTubers that have been on my vegan podcast. And I might need about 100 names before people like him start coming on. So you can tell that this is going to be an infinite thing. You're never going to run out of people, right? So don't worry about that. I'm always going to be sending you more and more and more all the time. So you don't need to worry. But one thing I want to say to you is, if you had, now that we've kind of discussed how the world goes vegan knowledge, for the folks listening, that is how the world goes vegan knowledge. But what we're going to do is we're going to move on now. And like I say, every vegan YouTuber that comes on for the first time, how the world goes vegan knowledge is something they all learn when they come on for the first time. One thing I want to ask you right now is, if you had 1 million subscribers as a vegan YouTuber, what would you do? Like, honestly, just think about it right now. What would you do, bruh?
I guess I would be doing YouTube a lot, spending a lot more hours, a lot more. I would cut back on my work, my current job.
Yeah. Do you think you would be more, like, the more subscribers you gain? Do you think the more motivated you really are going to be for your YouTube channel? Even though right now you look pretty motivated, bruh.
Yeah. Sure.
And that's quite hard thing to do when you're small. It's hard to do that when you're small, because like I say, you're in a dangerous place right now, and I really hope you don't quit, because I've seen it happen. The last vegan YouTuber I had in the vegan podcast, they quit and then they came back on, right? So, and when you understand how important vegan YouTubing is, that it really is the core aspect to actually convincing the world to go vegan, the only chance one day. When you look at just what one vegan YouTuber, has done for the vegan movement, You honestly asked me why I put vegan YouTubing as a core source, bruh. Do you understand what I'm saying there, bruh?
Yeah. Yes.
So obviously, I just hope you don't quit, bruh. One thing I want to ask you is this: have you ever had any experiences as a vegan YouTuber that has made you kind of think?